Hello everyone and welcome back. In yesterday's video I did bring up the topic of the Smilodon being a Cenozoic creature in Jurassic World Evolution 2, and that was down to the fact that it did appear in Camp Cretaceous Season 4, and with that in mind the question did beckon, will we receive a sort of Part 2 DLC to the Camp Cretaceous expansion? And unsurprisingly that's exactly what we're going to be looking at today, and sort of highlighting the more likely approach I think Frontier would take with this DLC being the potential Manta Corp DLC in Jurassic World Evolution 2. But with that being said, if you do go on to enjoy today's video, please do consider liking and subscribing. The support yesterday was absolutely crazy, so if we can get something on the levels of 25 to 30 likes, then it's greatly appreciated. And if you do want to talk to me, let me know down in the comments a dinosaur you want to see appear in a DLC in Jurassic World Evolution 2. But yeah, with that in mind, enjoy the video. So for anyone that's been watching the channel a lot recently, then you'll know full well that a relatively hot topic at the minute is what DLCs we could potentially see in Jurassic World Evolution 2. And the thing with these videos is that generally speaking, a lot of them are really a shot in the dark and aren't much so speculation as they are just something I want to see. However, with a Manta Corp DLC / Camp Cretaceous Part 2 DLC, I don't actually think that it's that unlikely as opposed to the other DLCs I've been discussing recently. And there's several reasons for this, the first of which is the fact that there's already a Camp Cretaceous DLC, and the second being that, well, Camp Cretaceous is, as we know, canon, and I don't see why you wouldn't put something that's canonological in the game, even if it is just per se 3 more dinosaurs just like the original one was. And I know that not everyone really wants a second Camp Cretaceous DLC, because I know full well that the first one wasn't, well, let's just say I had very mixed opinions in the community, especially with the people that didn't actually like Camp Cretaceous, and I know that loads of people are pushing for like a black market DLC or something along those lines, but I don't actually see that being as likely as this second Camp Cretaceous DLC is. And again, that's down to the fact that Frontier have done it before, and it's not really, like, it could literally just be a few more dinosaurs. I'm going to mention a map later on, but I don't really see that being as likely as the other stuff I will mention in today's video. So the first point of discussion that I want to, well, discuss is what dinosaurs would there be in a Manta Corp DLC? Well, first and foremost, our knowledge of Manta Corp didn't really come into play until Season 4 of Camp Cretaceous, in which we received the Smilodon, Spinoceratops, the return of the Spinosaurus, etc, etc. If you've watched the show, then you'll know what I'm referring to. But basically, what I'm trying to say is the entire sort of Manta Corp lore didn't really come into play until Season 4 of Camp Cretaceous, and I'm assuming that this, as I've just quoted it, this lore isn't really going to be a much broader thing than Camp Cretaceous, and I'm going to assume that it's only going to be lasting Season 4 / Season 5, which are the final 2 seasons of Camp Cretaceous. So again, it's a bit of a shot in the dark, but if we were going to receive any dinosaurs that, really were from Camp Cretaceous that we haven't got already, I think that it would be the dinosaurs that take, sort of shape from Season 4 to Season 5. And the overall DLC would be on a similar basis to the original one, giving us a few extra skins as well as several new dinosaurs. So in order of most likely to the least likely from this DLC, I'm going to go with Nothosaurus being most likely, Spinoceratops with second to last, and lastly the Smilodon. Now my reasoning for this is because I can't think of any other dinosaurs from Camp Cretaceous that I could really include, but mostly because, these are unique species to the game. We haven't actually had a hybrid in a DLC other than the Scorpius Rex. So if they were going to introduce a new one, the only route I assume they could really take is the Spinoceratops route. Despite the Nothosaurus being a dinosaur, I feel like if they were to include it in this DLC, it would be on a similar sort of level to what the Dimetrodon is in both size and just general animation. So if they were going to include a dinosaur, I'd say that Nothosaurus is most realistic, morally, because it's not going to be too hard to implement. And last but not least, the Smilodon, and I'm not going to go too in depth on why I've chosen it, because I did literally do a video on it yesterday. If you do want to check that out, then make sure to go and check on the channel. But yeah, I feel like the Smilodon is the least likely, because again, it's an entirely new species, it's an entirely new genome, it's nothing we've really seen in a Jurassic game before other than the mobile ones. And yeah, again, there'd be skins. I'm not going to go into skin types because, again, I don't watch Camp Cretaceous too much. I have finished the 4 seasons, but again, it's not the basis of my channel, so I'm not going to discuss it too deeply or go too in depth. And again, as I've been saying quite a lot in this video, a lot of what I've been saying is very hit or miss, and what I'm about to mention next is definitely the most hit or miss thing in this list, and that is the campaign slash and or map. So my campaign idea is actually quite cool in certain aspects. I don't like it considering it is canon, but if it was a feature that was implemented into Jurassic World Evolution 2, it would definitely be quite cool to see. So my entire premise for this DLC is sort of, it takes place on Manta Corp Island being the new map, which I'll get into in a little bit in a minute. And basically your entire ideology behind it is you've got to mind control the dinosaurs minus the drones using the chips, both that we saw in Dominion and briefly mentioned in season 4 of Camp Cretaceous. And basically you've got to try and sell your dinosaurs, which is like the objective of season 5, to the highest bidder, make as much profit as possible. And basically a way of doing this is by mind controlling your dinosaurs to fight and making them as fearsome and as valuable as possible. And basically once you reach a certain cap limit, i.e. you've done everything that you need to do, is when you complete the campaign, which would inevitably unlock you the Manta Corp Island map. So I get that's undoubtedly an interesting take, and I'm sure that lots of you will be questioning it, but I definitely want to see a campaign for the sort of Camp Cretaceous aspect of Jurassic World Evolution 2, because it would definitely be quite cool to see Frontier try and tackle. However, I don't know if I've come up with the best idea, but generally speaking, I feel like it'd be quite cool to see, and perhaps could open doors to that black market DLC that everyone's been asking for. And the last thing I'm going to talk about today is the map. So I can't really go too in depth because, quite frankly, it's a map and there's not a lot to talk about. But the basic idea is it's tropical as seen in Camp Cretaceous, it's big as seen in Camp Cretaceous, and it's just a nice looking map as seen in Camp Cretaceous. I can imagine there being a little docking point where you'll sell your dinosaurs in the campaign, which is also seen in Camp Cretaceous. And yeah, I get that all of this, pretty much this entire video, is unlikely but likely, if you sort of get what I'm trying to say. I know that a lot of you are going to take this video the wrong way and perhaps, think that I'm trying to say that there will be this DLC. I'm not at all saying that. What I'm saying is that the concept of this DLC is quite cool to me, and it would definitely be something interesting to see Frontier try and tackle, considering most of the stuff that they've been given, we've been given rather, the only real difficult sort of DLC I can really think of is the Biosyn expansion, because it's the only one that brought us like proper actual content in a Chaos Theory and campaign. Because we're not even a year into the Jurassic World Evolution 2 life cycle, and I don't want the Dominion Biosyn expansion to be the last sort of campaign slash Chaos Theory we get, and that's exactly why I've tried to implement a campaign into this speculation video. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments, as I do love hearing what you lot have to say. If you've got any ideas for dinosaurs, campaign maps, do feel free to let me know. If there's any videos you want to see in the future as well, also let me know. Make sure to comment one dinosaur that you'd want to see in a future DLC in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Let's try and smash that 25/30 likes again. It would really help the channel out as it does push out the videos. And yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I do hope to catch you in the next one.